Hey, que la que hay, mi gente? It's Rocky here from SpeakSpanishFaster.com. And in today's video, I have a treat for you guys. First, as you can see from the title, we're going to be going through some Puerto Rican Spanish. Now, kind of let me set the backdrop. All right, so recently, we had a birthday party for my aunt over the St. Patrick's Day. My aunt and my uncle over the St. Patrick's Day holiday. So a lot of my family came from New York, they came from Jersey, and of course we have our family here in Virginia and DC. So we have family coming in from everywhere to celebrate. Now our family is a mix of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. So I figured while I was there, I would try to get some audio, just real life, what it sounds like at kind of a Puerto Rican Dominican cookout. So I was able to get some audio, and I wanted to do it without being that type of person that's at the party, like, oh, vlogging every second of it. So I just got the audio because I didn't want to be too obvious with it. I didn't want it to make it seem like I was there just to get content for my channel or whatever, even though everybody knows I'm there to celebrate. But it was cool. I was able to talk to my grandma, my uncles, and my aunts, in Spanish, of course, and you'll be able to listen to some of those conversations, and it's going to be a real authentic feel. You're going to hear a lot of laughing and talking in the background, so you're going to have to really focus, but it should be a good experience for you to really practice your Spanish. So really quick, my grandma is from Puerto Rico. She's from El Viejo San Juan. She's from Old San Juan. She moved to the States when she was about 13, I think, or 14. She moved to the Bronx, and she lived there all her life. And then she moved to Jersey maybe 10 years ago or something, 20 years ago. I can't fully remember when exactly she moved to Jersey, but she brought some of my family from New York to Jersey, and some of my family still in New York. So my grandma's 100% Puerto Rican. My aunts, they're Puerto Rican. My uncle Tony that you'll hear, he's Puerto Rican, but my other uncle Louis, he married one of my Puerto Rican aunts, and he's Dominican. So a lot of people ask me, you know, what is your accent like Puerto Rican, but sometimes it sounds kind of Dominican. And really it's just because I've grown up with Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. And a lot of you probably know that by now, but I'm Puerto Rican, but through marriage, I have a lot of Dominican cousins, Dominican family, and I lived in the Dominican Republic before, in Santiago, and I have family in Santo Domingo, but I have a bunch of family in Puerto Rico. So it's just a mixture. So I would say my Spanish is kind of a mix, and I guess that kind of makes it a little unique. But yeah, so without further ado, sorry for the long intro. I just wanted to give you a little backdrop so that you could understand kind of what you were hearing and things like that. But you're going to hear a lot of Spanglish. We talk a lot of Spanglish when we are together. That's how a lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans in New York, that's just how we do. So let's get it. ¿Qué estás bebiendo?
Ron y cerveza y todo ahí mezclado.
Irish whiskey.
Eso es lo que bebe Luis ahora.
Oye, ¿tú no me compras?
No, allá está el patrón allá.
Oh, okay. Jordan tiene algo, yo no sé. Jordan tiene eso. Ok, grandma, yo estoy grabando ahora mismo. Yo quiero saber qué fue lo que cocinaste hoy para el cumpleaños de Titi.
Ok, déjame ponerle algo, un napkin ahí y te digo, ¿ok?
Ok, gracias. Y Uncle Tony, queremos saber qué comiste hoy.
Oh, yo comí el pollo curry que hizo.
¿Vas a hablar español? ¿Vas a hablar inglés?
El curry, ¿qué? Estoy hablando yo.
Sí.
El turno tuyo viene.
Ok, está bien, pues habla claro.
Pues entonces yo comí un curry ahí de pollo que hizo mi hermano Chafo.
Sí.
Comida india.
Sí.
Este es un plato indio.
¿Y qué comiste tú?
Yo comí comida india mezclado con pollo y un poquito de pasta.
Sí, tenemos pila de comida aquí.
Okay.
Pila de comida.
Yo cociné arroz con gandules. What was that chicken with?
How do you say
Arroz con
corned beef?
gandules. Wait. Corned beef. Carne Bueno, le pongo carne judía. De la carne que se hace para el día de San Patricio.
Okay.
Que se llama con beef, pero tú sabes, si ellos entienden que lo...
Sí.
¿Ok?
Yep.
Pero muchas diferentes clases de comidas se hicieron. Había comida judía, comida india, comida hispana, puertorriqueña.
Sí.
¿Y
cuál es tu favorita?
La favorita,
De
bueno,
esas, sí.
bueno, si yo hago arroz con gandules, también hago pollo al horno, pollo guisado, arroz con habichuelas,
Okay.
ensalada de papa, all that I make yesterday. Hoy estamos celebrando el cumpleaños de mi hija y mi yerno.
Sí.
Cada uno cumplió 60 años.
Wow.
Y estamos todos en la familia. Hay familia de New Jersey, hay familia de aquí de Virginia. Y nos vinimos a reunir todos juntos aquí como familia, ¿ok?
Sí, gracias.
De nada.
All right, Uncle Louis. Yo estoy grabando. Yo quiero que tú le digas alguna palabra dominicana para que sepan.
Una palabra dominicana de qué? ¿Qué es lo que?
¿Qué es lo que?
Dime lo que es tigre.
Hey, Julian. He said, ¿qué es lo que? He said, ¿qué es lo que?
¿Por qué? ¿Qué pasó?
Solamente está grabando, pero yo puedo como ponerlo en video.
Oh, yeah, está todo.
Okay, so as you can see, if you really took note, if you really listened, you would hear a lot of Puerto Rican characteristics and even some Dominican characteristics, even when my uncle was talking from DR. And you'll even notice, I'm trying to see, he said, una palabra dominicana de qué? ¿Qué lo que? Then he said, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué pasó? And you notice that even a Dominican use por with the L rather than por. So a lot of people think it's just a Puerto Rican thing that we use the L's, but even he used the L in that instance. He said porque, and that's something you'll see in Santo Domingo. You won't see it in all the parts of DR. Like in Santiago, they use an I. So in Santiago, you'll hear porque. That's a little too much to get into today. I've talked a little bit about that in my Dominican Spanish video that you can check out. I think I talked about that. But also another thing you can notice is just focus on some of the key characteristics. My grandma, she speaks a more neutral Puerto Rican Spanish, and she's not as like, you know, young people and males more specifically. And I don't want to say every male, but I would say naturally women speak more neutral than men do. And it's just like in DR, we call it tigueraje. It's just like we want to sound cool when we speak. Like, yo, gal okay, yo te quiero hablar. In Puerto Rico, you know, we, hey, papi, vamos a hablar contigo, blah, 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 you know. We kind of, women, they don't have that same desire. My grandma speaks very neutral. She does omit the S sometimes. And like, for example, instead of pollo guisado, she said pollo guisao. So she does have some Puerto Rican characteristics. Estamos todo en familia, so she cuts the S. But sometimes she does say the S, and you'll hear it at times. Another thing to notice is the Y. She said, hoy estamos celebrando el cumpleaños de mi hija y mi yerno. Yerno. So you could hear the Y sounds like a J. Yerno. So that's how many Puerto Ricans pronounce the Y's. We pronounce it with J. So like if I say yo, I don't say yo, I say yo. Yo quiero hablar contigo. Yo. Everything else, I would go through the audio, and you'll see the one part, my Uncle Tony, where I put unintelligible. I literally don't know what he said. He just kind of mumbled there. And even then, like, that's my uncle talking. I still, like, didn't know what he was saying. It happens when you're speaking Spanish with other people. Like, those same characteristics happen. Like, he could have been speaking English and mumbling, and I wouldn't have known what he said. So just because you don't understand every single word, it doesn't mean you don't understand Spanish. All right, there's going to be times, especially if you're talking with people from other countries in Spanish that you're not accustomed to, where they say a word that you simply don't know. And that's okay. You can simply ask, you know, what that word means. But you can see my grandma gets loud. I would say the household. This is what a house in this is what their house in New York, Jersey. Like anytime I go visit my family, it's always loud like this. My grandma's loud. My family, Puerto Ricans, we're just super loud. So yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed this style of video. I'm not really sure how often I can get videos like this. It was kind of a great moment, and it'll be something I even get to look back on, and I'll always remember this party we had because I'll remember this audio. So it was a great experience for me to be able to share it with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you're looking to take your Spanish to the next level, if you're really looking to improve your Spanish, no matter which Spanish you're trying to speak, no matter how long you've been practicing Spanish, definitely check out my 3 biggest secrets to learn Spanish faster. I'll put the link in the comments for you, or just go to speakspanishfaster.com/YouTube. These 3 tips are pretty much the 3 biggest things, most important things I would do if I was learning Spanish. If I had to learn Spanish all over again from scratch, I would start here and I would finish here. Like these are really the main 3 things you need to know to speak Spanish fluently. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know. Hit the thumbs up, comment below, let me know what else you need help with. Last but not least, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Hasta la próxima vez. Hablamos.